Hello, everybody. Welcome to my channel, Trishtio TV. I hope your week began well, and I hope it's also ending well because today is Thursday. I thought I was gonna upload a video on Monday, but I didn't get round to doing it. So anyway, it's better late than never. So today I want to talk about this popular Kenyan entertainer called KRG. So this guy came on my radar like 2 years ago. And I thought nothing of him because I thought maybe he's one of these people who are just popular because they have a huge following on social media. I think he has like 300,000 followers on Instagram. I don't know about the other social media platforms, but I've been seeing him almost daily, you know. If it's anything to do with showbiz in Kenya, he always seems to have an opinion to give whenever something happens, you know, like recently there was protests about the high cost of living in Kenya, and he happened to have a lot to say about the issue. And there's also times when people decide to protest for whatever reason. He seems to be always the person these people call upon whenever they get arrested and need to be bailed out from jail. So he got my attention that way. So I didn't think much of him. I just thought, he's just like any other influencer who we see around on social media making noise. But I happened to stumble on a podcast called Ikonini. I'm going to link the interview he did on that podcast at the bottom of this video so you can know more of what I'm talking about and get to know him better if you didn't know who he is like I did. So on that podcast, he sort of gave history about how he was raised and what he's up to, and sort of demystify things about him that people think about. So it happens that the guy was raised by... Okay, he seems like he has a well-to-do background because his father is an entrepreneur, and but he wasn't spoiled, yeah, because the father took him to boarding school. Although it was a private school, I don't think it was really, you know, those type of private schools that spoil kids, you know. There's some private schools that actually end up being like camps, you know, luxury camps. But it seems like he was taken to a boarding school where he learned how to fend for himself. And because his parents kind of allowed him to be independent, then he ended up developing that entrepreneur spirit, which I think he learned from his father. So while at school, he used to hustle. He used to like lend fellow students pocket money and then get his interest, almost like 50% interest on whatever amount he lent. Then he also used to like buy clothing item because the boarding school was actually in Uganda, yeah. So whenever he would return to Kenya, he would buy stuff like cheap jeans in Uganda and then sell them at a profit in Kenya. So afterwards, he also delved into club businesses, yeah, as in bar or entertainment joints. So he seemed to run those businesses while he was in school. Even after finishing high school, he continued on with the club businesses. And then afterwards, instead of going to university, he told his father to give him the capital that he would have, as in give him the school fees he would have used to pay for university as capital. So he started taxi business. He also did what? He still continued with the club businesses. And afterwards, he sort of had connections with somebody who gives tenders, government tenders, yeah? So he managed to get a contract for supplying raw material to the company that was constructing the railway, the SGR railway, yeah, from Mombasa to Nairobi. So he made a good killing, yeah? And then from that, obviously, okay, he's a good-looking guy, and then he was obviously flush with the money, and being young, most ladies found him attractive. So he happened to have a girlfriend who also saw he was going to have a bright future. So what did this girl do? This girl decided to start applying pressure, yeah? So she applied pressure and made the guy marry her, yeah? Although the guy was not ready, because she really wanted to tie him down before he got richer than what he was at that point, because he was showing, positive signs of being a rich man in the future. So what did this girl do? She asked for the money, yeah, the administration cost for getting married at the Attorney General's office. So she went and booked for a date, and then went and informed the guy when they were going to get married. And then because the AG office doesn't require too many witnesses, they only got 2 witnesses who happened to be their friends. So there was a lady and a gentleman. This lady happened to be a friend to KRG's girlfriend, yeah? And the gentleman was KRG's friend. So this other lady also had the same agenda as KRG's girlfriend. So they went ahead with the marriage, and the friends were their witnesses. And then after KRG married the girl, they in turn became what? The witnesses for this other couple, yeah? Because this other guy was also showing promising signs of being a rich guy, yeah? So these ladies were trying to secure the bag. So they wanted to tie them down early so they can have claim to their wealth. That's what they thought. So what happened after 10 years of marriage? I don't know what happened between KRG and the lady. They fell out. They had a very messy breakup. They were hurling insults at each other on social media. Yeah. They aired out a lot of dirty laundry. And in the course of the 10-year marriage, they managed to have 2 babies. So the friction was so bad that they ended up divorcing. And KRG managed to get full custody of the 2 kids they had. And he also happened to walk scot-free, as in he wasn't required to pay this lady alimony. Yeah? The way it happens in the Western world, where if you've been married for a long period of time, like 10 years is a long period of time, especially in the Western world, the spouse, yeah, the less rich spouse sort of has a right to claim a fraction of your wealth, yeah, to compensate for the time you are together, because the system kind of rewards the spouse for helping you achieve whatever level of richness, yeah, you achieve in the course of the marriage. So this lady went scot-free. So why did I bring up this topic? Again, this topic presents a learning opportunity, yeah? So this girl tried to tie down this man who was not ready to get married, yeah, because the guy was only 23, which is a very young age for most men, and the lady was 26, yeah? So she tried to secure the bag, but because the man was not ready, yeah, he wasn't going to settle, yeah? So the lady gave her womb to this man, yeah, which has affected her future prospects, because let's be real, most men, whenever they are looking for a wife, they sort of prefer you not to have kids by another man. So her prospects for getting another rich man have been sort of ruined because she had babies already by KRG, yeah? And she ended up not getting anything, because not every part of the world kind of rewards women handsomely after a divorce. Yeah, so she ended up not getting what she hoped to get out of this rich man. So, and then again, the man got full custody of her kids. Yeah. So I'm sure now that they got divorced and the dust has settled, it seems like they have a peaceful co-parenting situation. Yeah. But I'm sure she would have preferred to raise her kids full time. So she has lost out on that as well. So what lesson does this saga present? I think most ladies, as much as you'd like to get married to someone, I think you should really, really get married to a guy that is ready to marry you, yeah, as in he's ready emotionally, financially, yeah. Okay, financially, you can. He doesn't have to be there yet, but emotionally, it's very important for him to be emotionally ready to marry you, yeah, and lead you, and he needs to be the one to make that decision, because you can see from how KRG described the situation, the girl is the one who initiated the process. She even went and booked for the wedding ceremony. She didn't even want to go through the steps, those traditional steps whereby his family comes to meet your family and ask for your hand, and the two families get to know each other. And there's also this requirement for dowry payment for the bride. So she skipped all those processes so that she can lock him down. But then she ended up losing the man. So anyway, I hope she learned from this, and I hope other women learn from this as well. Okay, there are some unicorns who will be ready to be husbands at 23, but most guys are not ready at that age. In fact, I think the best age for a guy to start considering marriage would be like 35. But obviously, there are some exceptions. And for those exceptions, it would be very advisable for the woman to wait for the man to actually decide that he is ready to marry, he wants to marry you, and to select you as the wife that he wants to marry. So I don't have much to add on to that. So if you want to know the whole story and more details about KRG's life, I'm going to link the 2 videos from Ikonini podcast at the bottom of this video. So that will be it today. So thank you for stopping by, and please consider subscribing to my channel, liking this video, and share with anyone so you can help my channel grow. Thank you again, and bye for now.